Hello everyone, this is Jamir Rahman from Sniffer Research and this is a demo of data science with Python. So data science is a science that uses computer science, statistics and machine learning. So one person has to be good in computer science, the Python programming and the library. We'll discuss on the which are the library we require to understand and implement the knowledge of statistics, basic statistics and the machine learning algorithm that has been developed over the last 50 years. Like, we don't change this algorithm, but we use that algorithm that has been already developed and the package are already there in Python. So we do clean the data, whatever we got, we do the analysis of the data that has been generated as unstructured data from social media that has been generated as a book, PDF, or any tweet, or anywhere as sensor data. It can be any data. So how to become a data scientist? So we have to understand the first technique to understand the data. When the data comes, it may not have any clue of where to start and how to dig the problem to get some solution out of it to get a predictive solution. So we have to understand the EDA technique and the fundamentals of machine learning, which in fact the basic statistics also comes into play and some Python packages NumPy, SciPy, Pandas, Matplotlib. So this diagram clearly shows the flow where how the Python packages are come into action on different process of data science. First we collect the data. We have a questions like what are the problem and what need the solution. It may come from customer, from stakeholder, or it may arise from yourself. So once we have the data in place, we use Python to acquire it in Python framework. We use pandas to wrangle the third step. Wrangle means prepare the data for analysis. Here we may require cleaning the data, remove unwanted fields, and so on. After that, we analyze the pattern using the graphical format, and that matplotlib is a library which help us to visualize the pattern. So once we clarify, we do this wrangle and analysis and understand if the model is going to feed the data or not, or in the vice versa, data is going to feed the model or not. So once we are sure on that, we use that model on the whole data set and get a visualization which can be present to the stakeholders. So what is EDA? EDA is one hand is like test assumption hypothesis testing, the testing process to get a solution, or on the other hand it can be said like prepare the data for modeling, like to get the machine learning implementation in place. So these two things are in common, whether you say that you are preparing the model or you are getting cleaning the data or generate hypothesis is do the same. You require quantitative technique, mean, median, mode, variance, standard deviation. These are the basics you require to be a data scientist. This is how the formula I'm presenting, like what is mean average of that. Median is the median point, midpoint, and mode is the most frequency. That frequency mostly occurred in observations number of data. So standard deviation and variance we require, and we'll go through it in the course. I'm not going to explain in details right now. We require hypothesis testing, gather data, and interpret the data. As a testing model in place, we do repeatedly these steps to get into a solution. This is the statistical technique, and how we implement in Python will come across in a solution. So data science process first frame the problem, then collect the raw data that needed to solve the problem, process the data, data wrangling as I said, then explore the data. Explore the data means you understand the data, you clean the data, and you make it available for machine learning to implement and make it a graphical format. Do you can observe it is going to the model is going to feed the data or not and present it to the stakeholders. This is all about the data science. So machine learning model fit, when you say, we have to see it is just fit the middle curve. If you see the underfitting is the, so is the bad, and overfitting is not considered as good because it's not going to fit as the data grows on. We always split the data into test and train, and that is like 30% or 20% of the test data, on which we apply a model and we see if the model is going to fit on the data. Then we implement that model into the whole data set. That is the fundamentals of data splitting, or the same way you can do the cross validation. Is a similar way we can uh, divide the set into a, like if you have a data set, we can divide into 10 subset, and we can take 9 subset for a training and 1 subset for testing model. This is the cross validations what we know called. This is a simple curve which is a linear regression machine learning model. If you see, all the data comes into almost in the line or above or below it, so it is a good fit for linear regressions, the straight line curve. So this is a kind of examples we do, how we do, like we load the data set in using this kind of method. Then you see that we used to get the features, and then we here we are splitting into training data set and test data set, 20% testing and 80% training set. And then we split the test and train, then we used to get a linear regression model in place, and then we use to get the predictions out of the data. We can get a coefficient, mean squared error, variance, which indicates the model is a good fit or not. So logistic regression is algorithm again where we have a binary problem, either it is a true or false. Just like in this example, our candidate is a pass or fail, can be either at a 1 on the y-axis or can be in 0. So this kind of sigmoid curve can solve this purpose. We will talk about the NLP is a technique that has been used extensively in the machine learning to get a solution like speech recognition. And see, data is growing 90% of the data over last 2 years. So this is what we expect to be like. Data scientist has a very high demand, and over a shortage of, if you see, 364,000 opening in the US alone, and as per IBM, and we really have a huge demand, and we should learn data to be a data scientist and understand the problem and solve how to solve a problem. So we should master it. So this is, thank you for the, I mean, you for you watching these presentations, and you can contact me in this email ID jamie.rahman@sniffers.co, or you can reach me over my phone. Thank you very much.